Hello, everybody. Elida's Zweidler-McKay with Engaging Leadership, where we're all about helping you become an engaging and inspiring leader so that you can take your career to the next level and have the kind of impact that you want to have. So it's February, and here in Boston, it is a sunny, bright, snowy day. There is like 15 inches of snow on the ground. It's hanging from all the trees. It is just gorgeous. And that has me thinking that this is a really good time for you to be checking in on your New Year's resolutions and your goals for 2021. So if you're like most people, you may have started the year with some goals, some aspirations, some things you wanted to accomplish. And what typically happens is people start off with a lot of energy and then it starts to wane a little bit. And so this is a perfect time for you to check in and see where you are with your goals and start to figure out what you're going to do to keep yourself in motion especially if you've encountered any setbacks or you aren't quite where you want to be. So the first thing I want to really encourage you to do is to notice and celebrate any and all progress that you've made. So you may have set a goal that was something like, achieve some big milestone for the first quarter. This is a really good time to check in about what have you done so far? Where have you made progress? Even if it's tiny progress. Notice it, appreciate it, and celebrate it. I mean, really celebrate it. Like pat yourself on the back, give yourself a gold star, give yourself some kind of reward, tell a friend that you know will celebrate with you and be proud of you. Whatever is going to light you up and serve as some kind of motivation to keep going, this is the time to really notice it and appreciate it and focus on what's working and where you're headed. Now, if your progress is not as big as you want it to be, it's maybe a little slower, maybe a little more incremental, this is also a really good time to notice that and just give yourself the opportunity to learn. What is it that's made your progress possible so far? Where have you taken steps? What are you proud of? What kind of beliefs are supported by the progress that you've made, or what kind of beliefs have helped you make that progress? This is a really good time to unpack what's working so far so you can keep doing those things. Maybe you have some kind of habits that you've started to set up or some kind of ritual. Maybe it's something to do with looking at your goal every day. Whatever it is, if it's inspiring your progress, note that down and pay attention to it and see how you can do even more of that as you round the corner into February and keep yourself moving toward those goals. Now, if you have not had the progress that you wanted to make, or you feel like you're just getting nowhere, I want you to first of all ask yourself, is that really true? Am I really nowhere? So the problem is that sometimes when we're going for a goal, we focus so much on what we're not doing that we forget to catch what we are doing. And the problem with that is that when we're focusing on what's not working or where we're not making progress or where we're not getting to, that can really drag us down and lower our energy. And then we end up in this kind of downward spiral that takes us away from meeting our goals. So the first question to ask if you feel like you're not where you want to go is that really true that I've made no progress? Really watch for that overgeneralizing kind of language and keep bringing yourself back to the reality. So maybe you haven't made as much progress as you wanted to, but you have made some. Now, if for some reason you really haven't, or you've had some kind of setback, or whatever great habits you started at the beginning of the year, you've kind of let fall by the wayside, this is a really good opportunity to make a recommitment. And the first thing I recommend in making that commitment is that you go back to your why. Why was that goal important to you in the first place? Why did you set it? What is going to become possible for you when you reach that goal or when you make progress on that thing that you want to make progress on? What becomes possible for the people around you? If you have a goal that has to do with weight loss and getting healthy, maybe the benefit for you is something that you want to be able to do by the end of the year. Like maybe, I know in my case, one of my goals is to be stronger and healthier. And the milestone on that is to be able to do this hike with my son that I want to do this summer. So what's in it for me to get stronger and healthier is not only the longer term, better health, stronger, more longevity, more active life later on in life, but also this summer, sort of picturing myself on the hike with my son, picturing myself being able to keep up and hang out with him and laugh with him as we hike up a mountain. And then in the and then that has me thinking about not only what's in it for me, but also what's in it for him, that I'm setting a good example, that I'm able to be there with him, that we're able to have this good time together. So anytime you can take your goals and sort of connect them through to your why, and not only your own why in the short term, but like the short term, the long term, and then what it means for somebody else, that can be a way to add some punch to those goals and to get yourself back on track. Because my guess is your why probably hasn't changed. You just maybe aren't doing the things that are going to get you to that goal. So if you focus back on the why first, that can be a great way to start finding your energy for it again and getting yourself psyched up for it again. And then I want to invite you to really think about what's been getting in the way. So if if you've tripped up and you've stopped doing something, or you aren't quite making the progress you want to make, let's take a look at why not. Are there some beliefs or mindset issues that are getting in the way? Is it a problem with your strategy or your approach? Is that not quite working? Has there been some kind of change in your circumstance that means that the way that you were working toward that goal no longer works for you? Take a look at all those things and see what you can uncover. And then once you have that data in front of you, you can think about, what choice do you want to make now to get back on track toward that goal? And what steps will you take now to get back on track toward that goal? Now, one of the things that I want to talk about as it relates to progress is that whatever it is, whatever the goal is, and whatever counts as progress for you, that idea of really celebrating it and noticing it and tracking it is really important. There was this research that was done by Teresa Amabile and Stephen Kramer, where they conducted research interviews or surveys with something like 238 people that were from 26 teams across 7 companies. So a kind of a broad range of people. And in this research, at the end of every day, they asked all of these participants to fill out a survey about how their day had gone and what their mood was and some other things. And when they pulled all that research together over the few months that people were in the study, what they found was that people who reported having a good day or being in a good mood, 76% of the time had made progress that day. And people, on the other hand, who reported having a bad day or being in a bad mood, 67% of the time had some kind of setback that day. So that really goes to show that there is a correlation between progress and happiness, between progress and mood. Now, if you're like most people, you probably think, of course they felt good, they made progress, or of course they felt bad, they had a setback. But I want to invite you to think about, what if it's actually the other way around? Like, what if this is a chicken and egg problem, where it's not just that they made progress and so they felt good, but they were having a good day, they were in a good mood, and therefore they made progress. Or they were having a bad day and they were in a bad mood, and therefore they had a setback. Maybe they missed something, or they didn't catch a warning sign about something, or they weren't as resilient and able to address something before it became a setback. Who knows? What I want you to think about, and this is my challenge for you for the rest of February, is to really be noticing that chicken and egg, and to play with the idea of getting yourself into a good mood, getting yourself into an energized and excited state every morning so that you can tackle your goals with some energy. Now, there are lots of ways you can do this, but I encourage you to come up with kind of a daily ritual for yourself that gets you off to a good start. And you can decide what goes into it. But some of the things that I recommend are spending some time celebrating the progress you made the day before, spending some time getting yourself into a good mood, whether that's through thinking of all the things that you're grateful for, or doing some kind of meditation or some kind of movement, maybe getting up and dancing around, or doing some kind of exercise, whatever it is that's really going to help you lift your spirits and get into that energy so that you can start your day from that place of feeling good and feeling energized and feeling excited about your day. And you can also include in that looking back over your goals and what you want to accomplish so that you really also start the day focused on where you want to put your attention and put your energy. And let's just see if when you do those things, you're able to create the kind of progress that's going to move you forward toward your goals and what that feels like. I'd love to hear what you try. I'd love to hear about your experiments. You can post about them or email me about them and let me know how it goes. And if all of this is intriguing to you, but you feel like you would like some assistance figuring out what your goals are or figuring out how to get there, feel free to book a call with me. You can do that at zmcoach.net/call, and we'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes. We'll talk about where you are now in your career and where you want to go and what kind of goals would help you get there. And if I can support you in meeting those goals, we'll talk about what that could look like too. Either way, I promise you will walk away with some real clarity and a plan that gets you in motion. And sometimes that's half the battle. So book your call, zmcoach.net/call. I look forward to talking to you soon. Take care.